Well, hello there. Let's double check all the things. I think we're all right. Okay. So let me also do this to get that going. Okay. So we have a couple of things that are high on the uncertainty list right meow. Let's launch this guy. So we got things laid out here at a base level. We need mouse over behavior. We need to click clickable behavior. It would be good to get... I was thinking about doing borders. We can play with that in a minute, though. That's kind of just cosmetic. Zooming and clicking are some of the... I also want click and drag. That should be doable. But zooming is kind of the big question mark. There's a thing that we can do to enable click and drag. So we want to do that. But let's take a look. At what we can do about making this zoomable. Interactive viewer widget supports pan and zoom out of the box. We just need to wrap it with interactive viewer, it says. Okay. Let's take a look at doing that. So that's going to go live in the map pane here. Around the visibility. Right. Oh, yeah. No. Around the... That's the top guy there. It'll be around this. And I'm thinking we can put it here. Like so. That's what I'm thinking. And then we have some properties here. But let's just see how that... Oh, yeah. Okay. I want this to not be scrollable, because that's kind of hijacking things. I have no scroll wheel on you, which is kind of a problem. Okay, so... we want to be able to pan still. I think. Let me look at this. Simple container can be panned and zoomed. Hello? Dartpad? Would you like to work, please? Guess not. Okay. Dartpad seems to be a very unreliable thing. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Finally. So that's clickable and draggable. Boundary margin, I think, is the area around there. If I'm not mistaken. And it has a min and a max zoom, right? So if we were to do, in our case, in here, boundary margin, edge insets, I guess we can const this. Makes sense. All. They did 20. We can do 20 just to get a feel for it. Okay, we can click and drag you. But the problem is that doesn't do our scrolly. So that's a little bit problematic. And I'm also not getting... What if we kick this up like double just for funds? That would be better. Ish. It's still not getting us... we still can't scroll it. I wonder if we just need to disable... They did backplays, pan enabled, false. Is that all panning, perhaps? No, it's side to side. What? Pan axis. Unless I'm pan enabled, scale enabled. I wonder if this is a hot load issue. It is. Okay, so now I can't pan at all. I can zoom. That's probably ideal for one simple reason. I need to do gesture detector. Is that it? Yeah, it is. It is gesture detector. And I want to do... Was it there or was it actually in our tab view? I thought... Maybe I'm misremembering... yeah, misremembering where I read that. I can't words. Flutter... Two-dimensional scrollables. This guy. Scroll diagonal or lock axis. Gestures and custom points for tree rows. Where did I read that? Where was it that I remember seeing? It was like... allow drag pointer type or something like that, device type. Don't remember where I read that now. Where is you? Repository for two-dimensional. I still have this cold. It's become worse, and I'm totally hopped up on NyQuil or Dayquil right now. So bear with me. If I sound a little congested, I am. Speaking of which, hang on one sec. Tonight, after stream, I'm going to take some NyQuil and crash hard. Try to kick this crap. Okay, so where was it? Flutter make drag scroll. Default drag scrolling devices. Here we go. Here we go. Scroll behaviors. So a scroll, I think they use scrollable under the hood here. It would make sense, right? In fact, we should be able to see scrollable details. What's scrollable details? Is that not? Did I misread you? Oh, it's horizontal. Except for you, we're just dot horizontal. What things? Controller, okay. So we would need to... scroll behavior, that's direction. Inherited scroll behavior. Copy the existing scroll behavior, set different drag devices. Scroll configuration in your widget tree, provide a modified copy of the existing scroll behavior in the current context using copy with. So if we were to do up here, we can say, scroll controller, horizontal, let's just call you SC, equals, default scroll thought there was one of those. Why not? Bum. Oh gosh. I guess we can just do that. And then can we no. We probably need to do this in here. Actually, we could probably do it up here. Where's the scroll behavior? Oh, we need to extend it and then modify. Crap. Add a scroll configuration to the widget in question. Where's that example? Ah, here we go. That's in... So in this case, got that, and then they've got a scroll configuration here. But it just kind of hangs out. I don't understand what they're doing. Oh, that wraps it. I see. Okay. So in here, what I want to do is have a scroll configuration. Wrap this. And then we need a behavior. Scroll configuration of context. Copy with. Drag devices. Pointer device kind. Touch and mouse. Like that. And then maybe I don't need this at all. Okay, then I can drag there. I can't drag... Oh, I can. Okay. Except for as soon as you drag it, it doesn't let you go. But there is... inside of here, scrollable diagonal drag behavior. Free. Well, that ain't great. Allows free movement in all directions when dragging. That should be what I want. Is this a hot load issue? Did something not get initialized? Rebuild it. There we go. It is. Okay. So now we can drag around. I want to disable wheel scrolling though. Feature request was created for this. That's not what I want. Seems to be Flutter fun. Yes, Flutter indeed. Disable scrolling with touchscreen. I don't want to do that. Wonder if it would be in my scroll configuration. What are my options? And actually writing code when? Well, you know, when I can figure out what to write. This is still open. No, this is closed. Well, this other one is closed. That's for web app stuff, though. Let's see here. Those are widgets that scroll. What's the engine look like in its current state? Pretty minimal so far. It's still early days for it. Why is this not a thing? That's that. Corner device kind. Get drag devices. Scrolling with mouse wheel. Okay. That doesn't help me. See. This is for middle click scrolling. I don't want to do that. Scroll actions for this is for embedded web app though. This one's still open. Um or we would have to be able to say you I don't see trackpad scroll causes scale. I don't see a way to change this to only accept like a control and a scroll. There is a thing for that, but it's still open to make it configurable what we do with a scroll event. Let's see. This guy said prevent the default behavior by calling gesture binding instance pointer signal resolver register on the same event. I just want it to not scroll. I don't want to completely kill that event. Is there like there's scroll bars? That might be interesting. Oh, it's just a bool. That's interesting. I don't see them, though. Huh. Okay. Anyway. Is this... Why aren't you filling up this space? We're going to have to revisit that too, but... Okay, now you are. I think that's... That boundary margin was causing that. Actually... We just don't want it to be 40. What if we just chop it down to 10? Might still need to rebuild completely to get it to work. No? What am I missing here? Oh, was it something to do with... Okay, it was the zoom. That's what was going on. Derp. Okay. So, we don't need that, I don't think. This gets super... Like, I can't scroll it over any more than that. So the zoom is interfering with that. Because I can't go to the corner. So that's not great. We might still need to ditch this table view thing. It's going to require us to do something else for this. Which is annoying. How else would we do this in a sane way? We'd probably have to do... I mean, we could just recursively build it. Or not recursively, but, you know, just loop over it and build it. We'd probably want to do it in rows. But I think that gets messy. I think this two-dimensional scrollable thing uses tables under the hood. So we could do tables. Like we've pulled everything out into widgets, so we can keep using the widgets, right? Widgets that scroll in 2 dimensions. Table view and tree view. But I think this is giving us the ability to scroll in both easily. I think that's the main thing it's adding to this equation. I don't understand why that's blocking us from doing that. I guess it's possible. Well, no, this has to be outside of this because this has all this builder stuff that's built into it, right? So it has to be the child. That's giving us our zoom. We've disabled pan. I don't understand. Is that okay? So if I zoom all the way in, I can only see 2-1 basically. Everything else is off. But if I was to do the what the heck were you called? Boundary margin. There we go. Let's just do an all, and we'll do 40, let's just say. No, I can't. It still doesn't. Unless... Just make sure it's not a hot reload issue. Yeah, it's about the same. It's not really clear what boundary margin is really supposed to be for. Pan access free. Disabled panning. Oh, that's an interesting question, actually. If we re-enable that, does it do... Well, it got a little bit better. We can see a little bit more of that guy. Let me just double check, make sure it's not a hot load issue. Zoom in. Oh. No. Okay. So it's only what you zoom into and below, it looks like. And I bet you that has something to do with the way this lazy builds. Because it is lazy. It does say that all over it. I wonder if that's related. Okay, so the other thing we can do is just build it manually. We should now have information about the map, right? Because we've loaded it and we know the length of it, for example. So we'd have to decide on a set size because all of our widgets for the connection tiles use a layout builder, which is fine. They get their size from the parent, which is actually specified here. Because we're using the builders. So we've just kind of arbitrarily said 100 by 100. So we'd end up doing the same thing. Um, I don't know how I want to do the layout, though. Like, we could stack rows, but I don't think that gives us the correct, like, the rows are just going to grow to the end, right? So what we really need to do is put up a sized box that is that size, I think. Because we know it, or we can figure it out, right? So if we were to do, sure, it could be a double, and say, tile width is 100, tile height, I can't type at all. Oh my gosh. There we go. If we say that, and then we end up chucking all of this, right? Yes. And instead, we have a sized box. The width is going to be, Otter, hey, how's it going? How's things? How's all of the everything? This would be, so again, the inside of here, we need to make sure map is not null. Then we do this. Otherwise, we can just do the container again. It's good. Just diving along in parallel with you. Excellent. What you up to? Well, I'm rebuilding my editor because that framework, I think I mentioned, everything was broken. The one I was using initially. So we're rebuilding. And I'm working on the map widget, which is the big nasty bear, to get an editable map designer so that you can lay out your cells and connect them and, you know, build your world. Because doing it manually would be butts. Okay, so Mongoose versus Bear Dev. Where's Bear Dev? I don't see any Bear Devs. Ooh, I got tape adhesive on my fingers now. I need to clean up that sticky that came off my keyboard and find a better adhesive. Anyhow, let's see here. Okay, so our width of this sized box would be map controller map dot length times and map can't be null in here, we just null checked you, times the tile width. That's just some process which, oh yes, the map widget is a bear, and then the height is this the 0 index length times tile height. So then, in theory, which you can't see, there's a box in here of a height. Then, so here's the problem, is we don't have any thing in here. The other thing, Coolbane's right. What are my multi-child widget options? Where you are? Here you are. Here's docs. Single child, multi-child. So I can columns, of course, carousels. Oh, I can do a grid view. Okay. Grid view exists. This is in fact a grid. Main axis direction of grid is the direction in which it scrolls. Grid view builder. But I don't want this thing to scroll. I want it to just be. Is that a possibility? But we have spacing in here. So we can pull this over here. So we have our axis count. And I don't think I want a builder. It'll be a big widget, but that's kind of what we want. So if I was to do grid view, I don't want to do that though. What are you working on today, Mr. Otter? More arts? This is... Okay, so they just go in order. So we do all our things. Children. Which is a list of widgets. Tree bark tile set. Nice, nice. Barking up all them trees. So if we did... we don't need to do that just yet. We want to do... What are you mad about? Grid delegate. Okay. I think it's... In their example, it's this. So much bark, right? That's what you get for setting it in a park with, you know, notoriously full of trees. Bum, 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 bum. Come to me again, docs. Cross-axis count. Need trees, yeah, right? Cross-axis count is required. I don't want you to scroll, though. That's going to be a problem really quickly, I think. But the cross-axis count is Mac controller app length. Sliver grid. Like, I don't think I want the count part. Fixed number of tiles in the cross-axis and grid view extent. Tiles have a maximum cross-axis extent. Arbitrary 2D arrangement of children, including arrangements that are unaligned or overlapping. I don't want that. Grid view builder. Fixed cross-axis count. Max cross-axis extent. The scrolling part is going to be the trubs. Scroll direction. Grid view is no longer sufficient. Straightforward report code for using grid view using custom scroll view. I don't want a scroll view, though. That's kind of the problem here. I just want to be able to pan across this thing. But I'm being foiled. Grid delegate is required. What is the grid delegate? Tell me, who have you delegated to? Sliver grid delegate. Okay. That's what they were saying about this. Okay, this is what computes the layout. Okay. Grid delegate. But this doesn't really solve the problem. Well, okay, so you're technically a scrollable widget, but if we've given you the full space for yourself, which we're going to have to account for the offset in here, but if we give you the full space, we need to build this up from the map tiles. What's the syntax of that? I don't think that I can. I don't think I can just expand this. Although maybe I could do... I could map over the map, maybe? So instead it would be... map over you. So we return... This is a list of... No, we can't do that, though, I don't think. No, that's going to become a disaster really fast, I think. I need to go through... Because this is a two-dimensional list. We could do... No, we can't do that. Can I spread operator if... Okay. use the correct brackets there. Can I do this? And then this actually needs to be nullable. This becomes difficult because, so each of these is going to be a list. So I guess I could just do this is really like it's a column because it's X and then Y. This is actually going to be a list of nullable objects. Column. And then could I say I would need like a helper to do the job of this thing that no longer exists if we're not using the table view. Cell builder. Yeah. I guess just for testing purposes, let's just do that really quick to see if we're even on the right track here with this idea. And it does not seem like we are right now, because that... Oh, it's because I forgot. That's all a column. Burp, 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 burp. I don't think I can... I don't think I can do this. Can I? Maybe. Oh, I can. Okay. Okay, so our scroll is still a thing, though. Even though we should be below our size. And we don't have scroll controller. Controller. No equal, just null. If I null the controller, you still scroll. Let me make sure. Yeah. And so this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, which is the correct width. But as soon as we make this, like if we did a sized box here, around our test tile, and we said height was tile height width is our tile width, so that we have... Oh, and then I probably want to do also a center on you. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So you're still 19. That didn't really seem to make you bigger, which is a little bit perplexing. If I instead made this 150. Oh my gosh, I can't even click today. Yeah, this must be holding on to something. We need to get you nice and refreshed. One, two, three. I wonder if it's... Oh, okay, so here's the other thing. I don't think... Oh, yeah, I can't... I can't scroll over when I zoom in either. Okay, so this is totally not going to work. So let's roll this part back. And... this part? Nope, that's going to kill my... Roll that back. Put that back in. I'm missing... I think up here I'm missing child interactive viewer. Scroll config. Oh yeah, I'm missing one of those too. There we go. Okay, so something to do with our zoom is actually part of what's going on here, with being unable to go all the way up when we zoom in. That's annoying. I need to look at... It's kind of a relief that it's that and not something to do with the table view. I mean, we still might have to solve that problem, but... And the scrolling is still a thing that kind of sucks. Tell me more of your things, interactive viewer. Oops. One sec. All right. Live again for a moment. Okay. Docs. That's what I was trying to do. Clips its child using clip hard edge. Oh, okay. Maybe that's... Maybe that's part of it. Clip behavior. Clip none. What does that do for me? We will fuck around and find out. Now if I zoom, no, it's terrible. Okay. Clip dot hard. Actually, it's just that's the default. You can go back to that. Right, all the zoom, which actually maybe is part of the problem, because under the hood it's pushing this up, so you can't scroll up over or something like that. I wonder if that's part of my trubs here. I'm irritated that all of the widgets do only half of the things that I want here today. Let's take a look at some other stuff in here in the docs, though. Good thought could be that. Yeah, it could be. Like, it shouldn't be, because that's surprising behavior, right? But come on, widgets, behave, right? That's a pretty bold message to just roll in here with. There, Mr. YouTube fella. Just delete that. There you go. Let's see here. Prevent dead areas where the interactor does not perceive gestures. Don't set clip behavior. Be sure that the interactive viewer widget is the size of the area that should be interactive. Well, that widget should be the size because it's inside the expanded. But we don't have a dead areas problem. We have a not being able to scroll to the edges problem. We can do a builder, pan access, edge insets. Like this example that they have doesn't seem to suffer from that same problem. I can scroll. Interestingly enough, the zoom is frustrating to use in their example as well, because it wants to scroll the page. So it's not just me. Margin for the visible boundaries of the child. Just works as designed, right? Unfortunately, it was designed in a way that is awkward and annoying. Max scale and min scale, I just don't need that because it zooms and scales fine except for the part where I can't get back up there. Scale factor. That is unfortunate. Is there anything else? For this task, perhaps? Yeah, I'm here. You're just kind of a pain in my ass there, dude. Um, that's the interactive viewer. There's a package for zooming. Would like to not. This is for image zoom. So that's still not quite going to do. What's up, Amon? Amon? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. How you doing? Um, I don't want to do an image. That doesn't. That's based on the interactive viewer, but returns it when you're done pinching. Okay. Um, that's for images. Zoomable widget. Zoom with mouse scroll with hold left mouse button. Still not quite what I want to do. Okay, so we're kind of boned is basically the answer to that. Interactive viewer. And we did leave pan. Yeah, pan enabled false. Okay, so the other thing we could try. Like our scrolling is still a problem with that anyway. Scale factor information controller alignment. What is the alignment over here? Alignment of the child's origin relative to the size of the box. Um, I don't think that's going to matter, but I'm curious. Let's just say for testing, if we said center. Things get weird. That's what happens. Can't seem to zoom out any further. Let's restart that. Yeah, it didn't do anything particularly helpful there. let's get rid of this. We'll need to ditch one of those. So we've got our... we lost... There was a horizontal... Nope. What were you? There's a horizontal drag, diagonal drag behavior. Free. That way we don't get locked to an axis. There we go. Oop. We needed to do that on the first time we did too. It didn't like hot loading that change. There we go. Okay, so now we can drag freely. The scrolling though is still... How do I do a custom... Actually, hang on. Yeah, okay. Control scroll doesn't do anything. This is some crazy package. That's not what I want. There's a Flutter map package. What is this? Map client. It is literally just for maps. Interesting. Okay. Not quite what I want, but you know, an interesting thing. This is for Flutter map. Handle zoom event. Pointer pan zoom update event class in the gestures library. Not quite what I want here. On camera move. This is for... No, this is... What is this? GeoSelector widget. This is for Google Maps stuff. Okay. Zooming with gesture detector. Do I just need to wrap this in a gesture detector? Worth a shot. Nothing zoomy is happening. scroll up and down. Was there something I needed to change to make you... on scale. Start. Okay, so we can do... What am I doing wrong? What do you need to be? Oh, that's just general docs. Okay. Let me check this again. Scale details. Doesn't really matter. We can just do that. There we go. That's what's missing. It has an argument or a parameter. So what we could try doing is we can go back to having, and we'll put it in here. Make you doubles. And we could say, I think this is the height. Oh, you can't be const. That's fine. This is for columns, so this should probably be height, theoretically. And then... Ooh, I guess I would need to know in here. So we can call you scale details. If... What do you have? You have... Scale details. What did y'all do here? Scale details. Offset, offset. Can I just do greater than 0? Are you a positive and a negative? That would make sense, right? Offset base. Oh, okay. So that's a different thing. It's not an int. The initial focal point of the pointer is in contact with the screen, reported in global coordinates. There should be a way to get... a delta of some kind. Let's see here. Where did they do? They're doing animator controller stuff. That's not what I want. This is offset. Okay, so focal point is offset 0. Oh, there should be... Can I actually... No, you're going to be a scale details. This is scale update details. Gots to take care of some things. Be back in a bit. Cool. Yeah, I'll be rolling out soon. But if I don't see you again, you have a great night, Otter. Good to see you again, as always. On scale update. That's what we want. This has scale update details instead. I bet. Thanks for a good focusing work session. Absolutely. Always. Appreciate you. This is the update details, which there we go. Okay. Has more things. Okay, so these are offsets, but has horizontal and vertical scale as well. But it also just has scale. Okay, so if scale greater than 0, actually what I want to do here, I think, we're going to print the scale just so we have that, but then we're going to just YOLO this a little bit. We're going to say that we're going to add 5 to each, just because. And then else if scale update details scale is less than 0, we'll subtract 5. We'll just kind of YOLO this and see if it'll do what we want. Okay. So that's still scrolling, whatever. I'm not getting scale update. Are you alt? No. What triggers this then? Scale a widget using the gesture detector. And it didn't print, so it didn't go, obviously. Might have to do, we'll probably have to set state in here. That's probably a thing, but, focal point, they're using focal point. There's the scale. Okay, so on scale update details. That's for offset stuff. But they are doing scale as well. Where? Drags, long presses, where's my scales? Must have overlooked you. Scale. Okay, well, they talk about drag, tap, and scale, but they don't then tell me how scale. Let's take a look at the gesture detector. On tap. On tap. Ugh. Okay. Um. What triggers a scale? And then scale gestures together. Scale gesture recognizer. Here we go. Gesture detector. No help in there. For understanding. Why isn't this mouse scale gesture? One sec. Can feel the Dayquil wearing off. Okay. Get that back up here. Oops. Gestures library. Pointer scale event. That didn't tell me a whole heck of a lot. Actually, did we... Yeah, regular scroll didn't work. Shift does the side to side. Okay. Tell me more of your scale events, please. Scale transition class, animated scales. Scale method, test pointer class. On tap scale effect. I don't want to do that. Why is this so dang confusing? just to for sanity's sake. If I then go tap, okay, that does fire. So there's nothing interfering, in theory, at least not with taps. What desktop scale event? Okay. Okay, so this is for trackpads. Looks like they had an issue, but they fixed it. Oop. This is not. Control with mouse wheel should zoom in. Okay, so there's something open here for platform web, though. They say control plus and minus is working. Doesn't seem to be the case for me. This is done on Mac. This is only in Chrome, though. Oh, there's a prevent default. Interesting. This is in JavaScript stuff, though, so it's only for the web platform, which is not applicable here because we're in desktop land. Let's see here. That's the interactive guy. That's using interactive ear as well. Zoom controls. Didn't notice the widgets resizing. That's for web. What in the world? Why? Why is this just like this weird gap? That's so bizarre. Okay, so that's only for that. This is using on key for a focus widget, which probably isn't what I want. The prevent, this is for HTML. Default behavior on a key press. That's what I want. Kind of. Certainly closer. No answers. Ugh. This is using the focus. That's using the focus. Using raw keyboard lister, didn't want to change. That answer doesn't make sense. Probably why it's got 0. No points for you. This is such a weird gap in the documentation. Absorb pointer? Interesting. How do I just like... I guess I could do... We don't need that. It didn't do anything for us. I could try... Oh, you don't have a scroll? So... We have scrollable details, but... And you have... There's a physics for scrollable. I don't think this is the answer. I've flipped these, but that's fine. We'll fix that. I think this is going to disable completely. So no scrolly bar. Oh, I can drag. Okay. That's really surprising, but I'll take it. Now we just need to solve the zoom problem. That fixes that, which is immensely gratifying. Okay. Now. I would kind of like scroll bars, but that's fine. We just need to figure out gesture detector. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to take that out really quick. Take that out really quick. Okay, and we're going to commit this. If I could type today. Ends with making the map draggable, but not scroll. That way, and then we can roll that back like so. That way we have those changes kind of stashed. We don't have to worry about extracting them if this doesn't work the way we want it to. But the zoom here, that's still a problem. We still have to figure this crap out. Scale update gesture, desktop. Tell me. Scale recognizer class. This doesn't really tell me what they are, though. This is for mobile stuff. Looks like there's actually a scale property somewhere. Here, hang on. Oh, that's font scaling stuff. Okay. There should be. Desktop zoom. Website, don't want that. I don't want hover to zoom. Alright, well, my NyQuil is wearing off, or my DayQuil rather. I'm going to take the NyQuil. I'm going to go to bed. So, thank you for those of you who came to hang out. It's good to see you. If you like this kind of thing, I do it for roughly 2 hours a night, 4 days a week, starting on Friday and ending on Monday. So, unless I am just dying of this cold tomorrow, I'll be here doing this again at the same time. I start at roughly 8 p.m. Central Time, and I'd love to see you again. And if not, you guys